There are rare points in a person's journey when the weight of their entire future hangs on the smallest decision. You stand at such a point right now, though perhaps no one has told you. The next day, the next 24 hours, could be the very hinge on which your destiny swings. You may feel exhausted. You may feel as if every effort you have made has been wasted, as if life has taken all you've given and returned nothing but emptiness. Perhaps you are telling yourself that one more failure will break you, that one more rejection will finally destroy your will to continue. But this is precisely the moment you were meant to hear this message. Most people give up just before they would have struck gold. They stop when they are one step from the turning of the tide. They collapse the very day before the door would have opened. The pages of history are full of forgotten names, men and women who were nearly victorious but surrendered when victory was just ahead. The only difference between their fate and the triumph of others is that they put down their tools while someone else kept going. Think carefully about what it means if you stop now. It would mean that all the pain you endured, all the nights of doubt, all the struggles you survived would have been for nothing. It would mean that the lessons life tried to teach you would be thrown away. And years from now, you would look back with a whisper of regret. I was so close, but I quit. But if you refuse to quit, if you press through this dark night into tomorrow, you will discover what so few ever find. That success often bursts forth suddenly, like rain after a drought. One decision to keep going can turn years of defeat into a single shining moment of triumph. Your pain was not meaningless. It was the toll demanded for greatness. This is not simply a pleasant talk to distract you. This is your wake-up call. It is a warning and a line drawn in the sand. You are not hearing this by chance. You were already thinking of laying it all down. You were preparing to drift away quietly. I am here to tell you, do not do it, not now. Not after everything you have suffered, not when you may be hours from the answer you've been seeking, days from the opportunity that changes your life. You cannot stop here. This is your turning point. Stop now and you are done. Push forward and you will rise. Listen to these words as if your life depends on them, because it does. Before another sunrise, you must decide, will you follow the masses into surrender, or will you stand until destiny bends to you? There is a place where most men are defeated. It is not at the beginning, because everyone starts with hope. It is not even after the first fall, because many rise again from an early defeat. No, the place where most fail is at the edge of their triumph, when gold is within reach, when dawn is just about to break, and yet they stop. Failure is not final until you choose it. Temporary setbacks visit everyone. They are life's way of asking, will you continue? Most do not. They turn back not because they had no chance, but because they laid down their resolve when it mattered most. They were inches from gold, minutes from breakthrough, a single act of courage away from changing everything, but they surrendered. Their names were erased from history. Their dreams were buried with them. Consider R.U. Darby. He and his uncle struck gold in Colorado and began to dig. They even purchased expensive machines to dig deeper. At first, the results were promising. Then the vein disappeared. Discouraged, they gave up and sold the machinery to a junk dealer. That dealer consulted an expert, drilled just a few feet further, and struck a fortune. Darby had been 3 feet from millions. But he did not waste the lesson. He later entered the insurance business and faced constant rejection. But remembering the gold mine, he resolved never to stop when refused. He pressed on and eventually became one of the few who sold more than $1 million worth of insurance annually. His first failure nearly crushed him, but persistence rebuilt him. Contrast this with the countless men who never learned that lesson. They quit once, call it final, and spend the rest of their lives explaining why success was never possible. They say, I tried, but fate was against me. I worked hard, but the world was unfair. These are excuses carved by those who stopped too soon. Their failure was not destiny. It was self-inflicted surrender. Henry Ford went bankrupt in his first attempts to build cars. His financiers mocked him. Automobiles will never replace horses, they said. He could have quit. Instead, he went back to work, improved his designs, and built again. His persistence did not just create personal wealth. It created a revolution in how humanity travels. Millions drive today because Ford refused to die in that valley where most men lie down. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times while experimenting with light. Scholars mocked him. Newspapers laughed at him. He simply said he had not failed. He had merely discovered thousands of ways that would not work. He refused to leave the valley until the light appeared. And because of him, our cities glow at night. Imagine if he had stopped after the 100th attempt, the 1,000th, the 1,001st. He persisted. The valley takes many shapes: poverty, ridicule, heartbreak, repeated failure, exhaustion, but it is always the same test. Will you stop before the gold, or will you keep digging? The valley is what separates the common from the extraordinary, the forgotten from the immortal. It is the place where greatness is forged. Many men fail the test because they lack a clear purpose. Their desire is weak. Their faith is shallow. Their discipline is missing. When they reach the valley, they see only night, never the coming dawn. But the man with burning desire, unshakable belief, and relentless discipline sees the valley for what it is, the final battle before victory. He says to himself, I will not stop. I will not turn back. I will hold the line. And he continues forward. If you are hearing this, you may be standing in your valley. Perhaps you feel that your years of work have produced nothing. Perhaps every door seems shut. Perhaps failure has mocked you again and again. You may feel the temptation to drop your tools and surrender. I say to you, do not do it. You may be inches from gold, seconds from breakthrough, heartbeats from the moment destiny arrives. To give up now would be to lose everything. Say these words aloud: I am not finished. I will not stop here. I will climb until I reach the summit. I will strike until gold is mine. I will not faint. I will not falter. I will not surrender. I will endure until I succeed. Write these words. Speak them each morning and night until they are carved into your mind, until quitting is no longer an option, until persistence becomes as natural as breathing. The valley is not there to punish you. It is there to prove you. It asks whether you are worthy of the riches you seek. If you quit, you declare yourself unworthy. If you persist, you show the world you are its master. Fortune flees from the man who gives up, but it kneels before the man who endures. This is the law. Life crowns those who refuse to stop, who keep marching while others sit down. Do not envy the man who wins too quickly, for what comes easily often goes just as easily. Instead, admire the man who survives the valley because his foundation is unshakable. His character is tempered by the fire of trial. His triumph will last. Wealth that appears overnight often vanishes like smoke. But the riches that are dug from deep struggle endure, because they were earned with sweat, with tears, with unyielding will. Remember Darby. Remember Ford. Remember Edison. Remember Moses leading his people through the desert, refusing to give up until they reached the land of promise. Remember Lincoln, who suffered defeat after defeat before destiny crowned him. Remember Carnegie, who rose from grinding poverty to build an empire because he would not quit. Their names are carved into history because they refused to surrender. The names of those who quit are scattered like dust. So hear me clearly. This valley is not your grave. It is your proving ground. Stand your ground. Strengthen your resolve. Feed your faith. Discipline your habits. And keep marching. Your gold waits ahead. Your dawn is near. Your victory is close enough to touch. Persist and you will claim it. Quit and everything you have suffered will have been wasted. Choose now. Persist until the valley yields. This principle is one of the most powerful forces known to man. True alliance is not casual friendship, nor is it a mere gathering for comfort. It is the deliberate joining of two or more minds, fully aligned, working toward a shared end, forming a new and unseen power that exceeds what any individual could summon alone. When trust and clarity exist between two people, something greater than either is born. A third mind, an invisible partner that supplies energy, ideas, and confidence far beyond individual limits. Andrew Carnegie admitted openly that his vast wealth was never the result of his own efforts alone. He was not the most brilliant strategist, nor the most gifted organizer, nor the most talented engineer. His genius was in gathering men of ability and uniting them in a single direction, steel. That combination turned a poor Scottish immigrant into one of the wealthiest men to ever live. Charles M. Schwab, his trusted student, became a master at stirring men's spirits. He did not simply command, he awakened greatness in those around him. He brought financiers, laborers, and experts into such harmony that they acted as one body. This unity lifted him to a height that few men in history have known. His secret was never individual genius, but the energy created by many minds burning with a shared vision. Thomas Edison's workshop swarmed with thinkers, builders, dreamers, and assistants, all guided by his direction. Though his name is remembered, the inventions born there were the result of this group mind. That is why his laboratories produced a flood of discoveries no single man could have created. The flow of ideas seemed endless because it came from many minds acting as one. Abraham Lincoln, though carrying heavy burdens, formed a cabinet of men who were at first his critics and competitors. He brought them together and shaped them into a single instrument of purpose to save the Union. Where there had been division, he created cooperation. That harmony became the invisible force that led a nation through civil war. Had he stood alone, he would have failed. With their combined strength, he prevailed. The man who attempts to carry every burden by himself exhausts his strength too quickly. He plans with no counselor, labors without support, and soon gives up the fight. But the wise man builds an alliance. He surrounds himself with loyal companions of vision and skill. He fosters trust, keeps unity unbroken, and channels every effort toward a single clear aim. That man cannot be easily defeated, for he draws from power beyond his own mind. The enemy of progress sows doubt, jealousy, and gossip to break apart alliances because he knows the moment harmony is lost, strength is gone. Protect unity as you would treasure. Never let suspicion or envy poison it. Demand loyalty, give loyalty, and defend harmony as if it were sacred. Where there is harmony, higher intelligence moves freely. Where discord takes root, strength withers. This combined power exists only where harmony is maintained. Do not despise a small beginning. An alliance can start with two people. A husband and wife who share a clear aim create a force greater than themselves. Partners in business who trust each other form a source of power that grows. Even one companion aligned with you multiplies your strength. Start with what you have and where you are. One single mind united with yours on a definite goal is worth more than a crowd divided by disagreement. This force grows with you and attracts others by the magnetism of harmony. Affirm these truths until they are part of you. I attract strong allies. I live in harmony with my companions. Our combined effort is multiplied. Together we achieve victory. I am not isolated. I am connected to people of purpose. Creative intelligence flows through our union. This unity is my protection and my source of fire. Through it, we summon prosperity. Think of Moses. Alone he trembled and stammered, but with Aaron he found his voice. With Joshua he found strength for battle. With the elders he governed wisely. His power grew as his alliances grew. The same is true for you. Gather your companions. Build your circle of trust. Alone you may stagger, but united you will cross seas, survive deserts, and reach promise. Every great achievement, every enduring invention, every mighty nation stands on this law. Rockefeller brought drillers, refiners, and financiers into one accord. Carnegie brought together engineers and planners. Ford united inventors, managers, and laborers. Edison coordinated minds of science. Lincoln united generals and rivals. Each obeyed this law and power flowed through them. The man who isolates himself wastes away. He says, I need no one. I will go alone. He fades into nothing, his name forgotten. But the man who is definite of purpose gathers others, multiplies his effort, protects harmony and therefore endures. He rises and his name remains long after he is gone. Division is death, unity is strength. This is not mere advice. It is an unbreakable law. Build your alliance deliberately. Choose your companions with care. Meet with them regularly. Speak openly. Keep each other accountable. Preserve harmony at all costs. Act as one. Without this principle, you will stumble. With it, you will ascend. Obey this law, and a power beyond yourself will walk with you, guide you, and supply you with the means to win. Every man must cross a dark wilderness on his journey upward. This wilderness is not only a barren desert of rock and sand, but the season where doors stay shut, prayers seem unanswered, and all effort appears wasted. This period is the fire that tempers the soul. The weak faint in it, but those who endure become worthy to receive the reward. Moses led his followers through desolate lands for 40 years. They grew tired, longed to return to Egypt, and complained. But those years were training, not punishment. A people who had been slaves had to be reshaped before they could live as free men. In the same way, your time of delay is shaping you, making you strong enough to bear the weight of success. Most people fall in this dark season. They believe the silence means abandonment. They conclude that destiny has forgotten them, and they turn back. They choose comfort over promise, wandering over purpose. But those who understand the law recognize this delay as preparation. They see that persistence is proof of worthiness. They keep marching. Lincoln knew this long night well. His path was littered with defeats, losses, humiliation, and grief. At any point he could have surrendered to despair. But he did not quit. Because he persisted, he was prepared to carry the crushing weight of the nation when the time came. Henry Ford also faced his wilderness. His first company collapsed. Investors mocked him. He faced financial ruin, yet he refused to surrender. He tried again, refined his ideas, and built anew. Those years of obscurity became the foundation for the automobile revolution. If he had abandoned his dream, the world might never have seen a car for the common man. Edison's wilderness was a trail of failures that seemed endless. Thousands of experiments brought nothing but frustration. People laughed at him, newspapers ridiculed him, scholars said he was wasting his life. But Edison counted each failure as progress, a step closer to success. He persisted until light finally broke forth. Because he endured, his name endures and cities still shine at night. Every trial asks you a question. Do you really want this? Will you hold on when everything seems lost? Only those with burning desire keep walking. Only unshakable faith makes it through the night. Only relentless discipline stands when hope appears gone. The man without purpose complains and dies in the wilderness. The man with definiteness of aim keeps moving and reaches the goal. Stop complaining about delay. Stop calling the night your enemy. Treat it as training. Ask yourself what strength you can build, what wisdom you can gain, what habits you must master. Each hardship is a seed. Plant it by learning from it, and it will bear fruit. Waste it by complaining, and you will keep wandering. Your response in the wilderness reveals whether you are master or slave. Say these words when you are tempted to give up. I march forward though it is dark. I cross deserts though weary. I do not faint. My belief does not break. My desire burns brighter than delay. I will keep going until victory is mine. Speak them until quitting is no longer an option. The adversary of mankind has said that discouragement is his most powerful weapon. He whispers that it is hopeless, that there is no point in trying. Most men listen and turn back. But he cannot chain the man who refuses to stop. That man marches on though exhausted, though wounded, though afraid. That man cannot be defeated, for persistence outlasts every obstacle. Even the devil must step aside for him. Look at Israel. Those who grumbled died in the wilderness. Those who held on entered the promised land. So it is today. Most quit. A few endure until dawn. Choose now which you will be. Will you faint with the many, or will you persist with the few? The night will pass. The storm will end. The desert will bloom. But only for the one who keeps moving. He may stumble, but he rises again. He may fall, but he refuses to stay down. He may cry, but he does not stop. His persistence carries him until at last he sees the light of triumph. Therefore, do not waste this night season. Do not confuse delay with denial. Keep walking. Endure. Persist. Beyond the desert is promise. Beyond the darkness is dawn. Beyond this delay lies destiny. This night is temporary. The reward will last forever. Persist and inherit. Quit and all you have endured is wasted. When a man passes through suffering, it is not strength alone that keeps him alive, but the vision he holds inside his mind. Vision is the inner flame that stays lit when every other light has gone out. Pain may surround him, enemies may mock, Failure may press close, but he continues because he sees what lies beyond. Without vision, pain crushes him. With vision, pain becomes the path to glory. Moses led people who saw only dust, hunger, and hardship. They wanted to go back to chains because slavery seemed easier than struggle. But Moses painted for them a picture of cities, homes, fields of plenty, a land rich with milk and honey. That picture kept them moving. Without it, they would have perished in despair. The same is true of every great leader and every man who prevails. Lincoln endured because he saw a whole nation when others saw only a fractured one. That picture gave him courage to withstand hatred and ridicule, to carry the weight of civil war. Henry Ford saw streets filled with automobiles when others saw only horses and wagons. The world mocked him, bankers laughed, bankruptcy tried to silence him, yet the vision refused to die. It carried him through rejection until it became reality. Edison kept going through 10,000 failures because his vision of light was brighter than the darkness of defeat. He saw shining cities, glowing streets, darkness driven away. Rockefeller was sickly and frail, but he saw oil fueling an empire. That image kept him moving when weakness threatened to stop him. Vision transforms pain into energy. It is what allows a man to keep going when nothing else remains. The man who drifts through life has no vision. He sees only what is before him, his poverty, his failure, his pain, and so he remains in it. The man of purpose, however, sees what is not yet. He says, I am poor now, but I see wealth. I am defeated now, but I see victory. And because he sees it, he does not quit. Vision is imagination with direction. It is not daydreaming, but a clear mental picture of your aim fulfilled. When you imagine with vivid detail, your subconscious begins to accept it as reality and directs your thoughts, choices, and actions toward making it so. Providence supplies the opportunities, the helpers, and the ideas to bring it forth. Vision is not escape from the present, but the blueprint of the future. Moses did not vaguely hope for freedom. He described the land in detail. You must do the same. Describe your aim clearly. What will success look like? What will it feel like? Speak of it until it is engraved in your mind. The clearer your vision, the stronger your ability to endure pain. The adversary works hardest to kill vision. He whispers that pain is permanent, that there is no hope, that nothing will change. He tries to blind men to the future so they will give up, but the man of vision cannot be deceived. He knows pain is temporary, promise certain. He knows night gives way to morning, deserts to harvest. He endures because he can see beyond the present. Speak these affirmations aloud. I see my future clearly. I walk by vision, not by sight. I endure because I see what lies ahead. My pain is passing. My purpose eternal. I imagine my success until it becomes real. I reject despair. I refuse doubt. My vision carries me through every storm. Speak them daily until your picture of the future is more real than your present pain. Lincoln held to vision and prevailed. Ford clung to vision and triumphed. Edison refused to let vision die and conquered darkness. Rockefeller turned vision into empire. Carnegie used vision to build steel dominion. Moses guided with vision and led a nation to freedom. All of them suffered, all of them struggled, but vision carried them through. Without it, they would have quit. With it, they became immortal. Vision is the power that keeps a man moving when reason says to stop. The man without vision waits to see before he believes. The man of destiny believes until he sees. Picture what you want, believe it. Persist until it becomes fact. Refuse to picture it, and you will perish in the wilderness. Build your vision deliberately. Write it down, speak it out loud, keep it before your mind. Guard it as a treasure. When pain comes, look at it. When night falls, cling to it. When failure strikes, hold to it. Let it burn inside you until nothing can put it out. Beyond the pain lies promise. Beyond the night lies dawn. Beyond delay lies destiny. Vision is your light, your strength, your compass. Every man who reaches for greatness will meet defeat. This cannot be avoided. Life will test whether you truly want what you say you want. The question is not whether you will be knocked down, but whether you will rise again. The difference between failure and mastery is in how you respond to defeat. Inside every setback lies a gift, an equal or greater benefit waiting to be uncovered. This is an eternal law. Hardship hides opportunity. Pain conceals power. Most men curse adversity, run from defeat, and resent pain. In doing so, they waste the very experiences meant to shape them. The wise man asks, "What lesson is here? What skill can I gain? What strength is being built?" That question turns defeat into a stepping stone. When Israel was trapped between the sea and Pharaoh's army, it seemed the end. Yet the very obstacle became the way forward. The sea did not kill them. It opened for them. So too with you. What appears final may be the door to your greatest breakthrough. Edison's thousands of failed experiments could have ruined him. Critics jeered, scholars mocked, the world called him mad, yet he counted every failure as discovery of a method that would not work. He turned each blow into wisdom until at last light shone. Ford faced betrayal, bankruptcy, and ridicule. Each failure taught him something: how to improve, how to choose better partners, how to make his process more efficient. Carnegie faced poverty and prejudice. He could have surrendered to despair, but he used hardship as fuel, turning hunger into ambition, ignorance into study, study into mastery. Poverty became the fire in which his character was forged, and from that fire came steel. Lincoln's defeats were many: failed elections, lost business, heartbreak, and depression. Each one deepened his compassion, sharpened his resolve, and prepared him for war. Rockefeller's frailty became his discipline. By ordering his life carefully, he built habits that preserved his energy. His weakness became his advantage, allowing him to outlast competitors who wasted themselves. Every loss you suffer contains such a seed, but only the man who refuses to quit will find it. The man who drifts sees only pain and curses it, then stops trying. The man of definite aim studies his defeats, learns from them, and becomes stronger. That is why he rises while others remain fallen. Even the enemy of mankind admits that he traps most men not by defeat itself, but by their reaction to it. He whispers self-pity, anger, despair, and most obey. But he cannot hold the man who says, "This pain will serve me. This blow will teach me. I will not waste this." That man escapes every trap. To convert defeat into strength requires command of thought. You must refuse to dwell on loss and instead demand to see the advantage within it. Write what you have learned. Apply it. Turn every wound into wisdom, every setback into strategy. Repeat these affirmations: every defeat becomes my advantage, every hardship my teacher. I use pain as fuel. I transform every obstacle into power. I am not broken. I am forged. My enemies become my helpers. My losses become my gain. My pain becomes my crown. Speak them until you believe them. Moses faced rebellion again and again. Each time, he grew stronger. Each uprising taught him judgment and leadership until he could stand as the lawgiver of his people. Israel's wilderness was filled with hunger, thirst, delay, and danger, yet each trouble produced strength. Food from heaven, water from stone, victories over enemies, endurance through waiting. Their training became their preparation. The man who quits throws away these lessons and dies not because fate destroyed him, but because he refused to grow. The man who persists records every blow, learns from it, and rises higher each time. History proves that greatness is not the absence of failure, but mastery over it. Edison, Ford, Carnegie, Rockefeller, Lincoln, Moses, all were struck repeatedly, yet all turned defeat into stepping stones. That is why their names still live. They turned scars into strength, wounds into wisdom, pain into triumph. Do not waste your defeats. Do not resent your pain. Study them, learn from them, convert them into power. For every loss hides treasure, every obstacle hides a door, every blow hides a blessing. Refuse to learn and you perish. Learn and you rise. Persistence is the crown that completes all other virtues. Desire begins the quest. Faith keeps the heart alive. Discipline orders the path. Vision lights the way. Alliance multiplies power. Adversity trains the spirit. But persistence is what finishes the work. Without it, all else is in vain. With it, all else is fulfilled. Moses persisted through decades of wandering hunger, rebellion, and delay. He did not turn back. Because he persisted, his people reached the land of promise. Edison's genius was not his greatest gift. His refusal to quit was. 10,000 failures mocked him, but he continued until the light came. That persistence crowned his genius. Ford persisted through bankruptcy and ridicule. His desire